Yup, it's another Ford Ranger video. This time we'll compare and rank all the variants depending on the value that they offer and how much better they are than the competition. If you're a Ford fan, sit back, relax and enjoy. If not, I promise my next video is going to be about something else. By the way, I'll do something similar for other brands, so you can narrow down which variant is right for you. So which one is worth your money? Let's find out. You get a lot more variants of the Ranger than the Everest. Aside from the 5 main variants, the Wildtrak, the Sport, the XLT, the XLS, and the XL, you also have manual and automatic variants for the XLS. You have a 4x4 and 4x2 variant for the Sport and the Wildtrak. So you have a total of 8 variants to choose from, ranging from 1.19 million pesos to 1.87 million pesos. I think the Ford Ranger variants are better positioned from a price perspective than the Everest variants. On the Everest lineup, only the Trend and the Titanium 4x4 offer excellent value for money. A lot more variants of the Ranger offer better value for money than the competition. Before we talk about the differences, let's talk about the similarities first. All the variants have the same suspension, so the ride quality should be the same. Payload capacity is the same at 1,000 kilograms. Only the Wildtrak 4x4 gets a different engine and transmission. The rest get the same 2-liter single turbo mated to a 6-speed transmission. All the variants except for the Wildtrak get the same 10-inch screen in portrait mode. So under the skin, a lot of these variants are basically the same, so we'll base this comparo mostly on the spec sheet. If you want to see my full review with driving impressions of the Wildtrak 4x4, you can click on the link above. Anyway, let's start the rankings. We'll use the same format as the Everest. We'll rank the variant, and then we'll list the differences between the variant and the one right below it, so you know what you're getting for the price difference. At 8th place is the Ranger XLS MT. Now this is in 8th place because it's priced about the same as the XLMT 4x4, but doesn't offer 4x4 capability. Most of the differences between the XL and the XLS are cosmetic. The XLS MT has side steps, it has alloy wheels instead of steelies, it has a rear bumper, but I think these are things that you can easily add or even upgrade later on. The 4x4 capability is either something that you have or you don't. So yeah, it's in 8th place because it directly competes with another variant that offers much more value for money. At 7th place is the Ranger Sport 4x2. Now I've seen the Ranger Sport, but I haven't taken videos of it yet. We're gonna correct that soon. In the meantime, apologies if I have to use stock photos. Now this is a very well equipped pickup. The reason why it's ranked so low is that it's priced very close to the Navara VL 4x2. While the Ranger Sport has a couple of advantages like a nicer interior, a bigger screen, a bigger bed, the Navara has a couple of features that make you want to take a second look, including power adjustable seats, dual zone climate control, and a 360 camera which the Ranger Sport lacks. Like I said, this is still a very well equipped variant, but unlike some of the other variants on this list, it doesn't quite destroy the competition. The Ranger Sport 4x2 sells for 1,474,000 pesos, a difference of 100,000 pesos compared to the Ranger XLT. And for that price difference, you get leather seats, a push-button start, bigger 18-inch wheels, an assisted liftgate, an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, and LED taillights. The Ranger Wildtrak 4x2 is a bit more expensive than the Sport, but you do get a few more electronic and mechanical upgrades. Plus, I think it looks a bit nicer. This is the lowest variant that comes with an electronic parking brake with auto hold. Now, depending on your preference, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, I don't care so much about electronic parking brakes, but the auto hold function makes driving through traffic a bit less tiring. This is the lowest model that comes with rear disc brakes, power seats, and it also gets a much larger 12-inch screen. The Wildtrak 4x2 sells for 1,569,000 pesos. It's 95,000 pesos more expensive than the Sport 4x2. And for that price difference, you get rear disc brakes, power seats, dual zone climate control, a larger 12-inch screen, extra cup holders on the dashboard, and an electronic parking brake with auto hold. The XL 4x4 is the best base model manual 4x4 variant in this segment. This is priced about the same as the Hilux J 4x4 MT and the Strada GL 4x4 MT. And it feels like it should be priced a couple of notches higher. The interior looks much better. You get much more tech. You get better noise insulation. It has an electronically locking rear differential. So if you want an off-road pickup that you can dress up, put big tires on, put a lift, this is your best option. The difference between the XLS AT and the XLS MT is obviously the transmission. But this is ranked much higher because this holds the distinction of being the most affordable automatic pickup from a mainstream brand. The competition has cheaper manual variants, but if you want an automatic pickup, this is your most affordable option. And despite the price, it is totally not bare. It's actually a bit better equipped than some of its competitors. I think the interior looks better. Definitely the screen looks much better than its competitors. The XLS Automatic has the same specs as the manual, except for the transmission. The reason why it's ranked so much higher is that because it's an automatic, it's competing against a different lineup of pickups which are priced much higher. There are variants that are good for the price, and there are variants that are just good, even without seeing the price tag. For example, the XL 4x4 is good for the price. It has potential when upgraded, but in stock form, it does look like a base model, especially from the outside. The XLT, I feel, is the lowest variant where you don't feel like you're in something na tinipid. And that's why we're giving it a high ranking. The XLT directly competes with the entry-level automatic variants of the other brands, and that would include the Hilux G, the Isuzu D-Max LSA, the Mazda BT50 4x2, the Strada GLS 4x2, and the Navara VE. I think in terms of refinement, interior quality, and features, the XLT definitely is ahead. It has a leather-wrapped steering wheel. It has a more premium and more modern-looking interior, thanks to the high-resolution 10-inch vertical screen. You also get a wireless phone charger, a reverse camera with active guidelines. This is also the most affordable variant that comes with Ford's signature C-clamp headlamps, so it looks more similar to the higher models like the Wildtrak and the Sport. The XLT sells for 1,374,000 pesos. A price difference of 99,000 pesos compared to the XLS AT. And for that price difference, you do get a lot of extra features, including a leather-wrapped steering wheel, a wireless phone charger, larger 17-inch wheels, LED C-clamp headlamps with LED DRLs, a bed liner, and cruise control. For this list, I do put a premium on how a variant stacks up against the competition. And for the Sport 4x4, there is no competition. This is the only mid-spec 4x4 variant in this segment. If you want a nicely appointed automatic 4x4 pickup, but you don't want to spend money on a top-of-the-line 4x4 unit, this is your best option. The other brands usually have the 4x4 models at the top of the line or near the base model. This sells for under 1.6 million pesos. It's cheaper than any automatic 4x4 pickup from any other brand. And despite being cheaper, it's actually better equipped than some of its competitors. It has leather seats. By the way, the Conquest models only come with fabric seats. It has a push-button start. It has an assisted liftgate. It has an auto-dimming rear view mirror, a rear differential lock, and LED taillights. And at first place is the Wildtrak 4x4. This is hands down the best equipped and most complete mid-size diesel pickup that you can buy in the Philippines right now, regardless of price. This is the most complete when it comes to driver assist and active safety features. This gets adaptive cruise control, automatic braking, lane departure warning, blind spot warning. This is the only pickup in this segment that gets lane centering, which automatically steers you back into your lane. This is the only one that comes with an electronic parking brake. It has a high-resolution 360 camera. It has the biggest and the best screen in the segment. So yeah, it leads when it comes to tech features. But even if you're not into tech, this has the most powerful and most quiet engine, the lightest steering, the most spacious bed, arguably the best looking interior. It's just superior to everything else in almost every way. If you want to know more about the Ranger Wildtrak 4x4, you can watch my review by clicking on the link above. The Ranger Wildtrak 4x4 sells for 1,875,000 pesos. A price difference of 306,000 pesos compared to the Wildtrak 4x2. And for that price difference, you get a lot of extra features. So those are the different variants of the Ranger ranked. If this was helpful to you in any way, I would appreciate it very much if you would click on that like button and that subscribe button. And I'll see you on my next video.